Okay, so now we've made the flattener. Let's move this back to, I think it tended to look good at, I don't know, kind of there maybe? Let's just say 6. Bonk. Nifty. And we haven't actually broken anything yet, I don't think. So we also say whether we flatten or not, which we already have a thing. Now we said we'd poly reduce or maybe not poly reduce. But the first thing I'm going to do before that is I'm actually going to put a fuse down because I just want to make sure I don't want that to. This might be another one of these things where we make that a. I don't know. Did it look like screwed anything up? I'm worried it combined things. I don't think so because I think it's smart enough not to do that. It took it from blah 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 points to blah 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 points. That says 40,000 points. So that isn't too bad. I think we're always going to do that. So I'm not going to put that as a poly reduce. I will put the poly reduce here. Poly reduce. We said sometimes we're going to, sometimes we're not going to. So this is already set up. We said there's some kind of percentage. Bunk, dunk, dunk, dunk. And there is. Let's go up to the here, and we already made this, so that's handy dandy. Let's go inside here and go ahead and paste copy relative references. Next question is, do we want to poly reduce? It's a little slow. So it looks crazy, doesn't it? Let's do normal so we see our guys looking like they're supposed to. I'm curious if I want to poly reduce on this side. Let's actually not for now. I think it's another thing that's probably going to look better on the stones. So let's leave it open for now. Okay. So next question is going to be, remember our whole point of our whole thing, showing stuff with a cut textured this and cut textured that and so forth. Let's do that. Now, how do we get textures onto these guys? Sometimes it'll be like this, and we need something that actually, based on what directions the normal faces, whether it gets a top texture, a side texture, a front texture, and a scale. We need some sort of texturizer. If only some sort of genius had made a texturizer and set it all up earlier. Wait, that was us. We're the genii that did that. That was this guy. It's not so important. I'm going to give him a little thing. And we made him as a digital asset, which I think means that he already exists here. Nifty. So should we do that, or will that not be hooked up? Good question. I'm going to basically do that. It won't be hooked up by default. And I'm going to right click on here and say copy. And then I'm going to paste, the same expressions. It's weird because it's this toggle box and you can't see it. But I want to have it every place we do it, whether we show the colors or not, all that junk we said, all that stuff. I want it to be the same, references the top. And, oh, we didn't bubble those up yet. Did I say I was going to bubble those up and I didn't? What a jerk. Okay, let's go ahead and bubble those up. And, hey, it says Jeff W. This is going to be our second texturizer. Now, you notice this guy's red and this guy's not, because this guy's just an instance of it. Whatever we change inside of here, if we do, we won't need to. We'll do it to there. But in the texturizer, now let's bubble up these guys. I think I said it was going to a long time ago and didn't. Let's go ahead and go up here, and I'm going to turn update off for a second just so it's nice and quick. Here, we're going to blah, 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 right click. And in our texturizer, our first one, this guy, we're going to take, dang it, that's weird that I press on one thing, something else happens. We're going to take those scales that, these guys, and in texturing, remember we put the just stretch, just colors, angle, threshold. Now we're going to do front and backs texturing. Something, let's actually just, can we do this? Let's put the whole guys in there instead of having to give it different names or whatever. Let's put them in there within, with their folders. So these are going to be texture scales for the front and back and the sides and stuff. I think if I were using this, I would want to see that at the bottom. Front and back, then sides and bottom. Okay, that's fine. And I feel like I want to say texture scale just so I'll say text scale because I'm worried it's going to be too big if I do. Sides, text scale. Yes, I do have OCD. Top and bottom. I say top and bottom because I'm worried about side. Number of letters. Top and bottom text scale. Blah 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 blah. Except whatever. Okay, so now when we look at our texturing, it has its own little section for these guys, and they should already be linked up inside to this guy. Great. So now I'm going to copy those guys and paste copied expression for those guys. Whoops, I didn't copy all of them. By the way, that's also wrong. We wanted it to be whatever it was. Paste copied expressions. Thank you. And for the sides, copy parameter. Ugh. Sides, copy parameter. Pasting the parameter. I don't know why I'm doing this so slowly. Paste copied expressions. Top and bottom. Copy parameter. Paste copy expressions. Whatever. I also have a field of disturbance in the force. I feel like we did that. We shouldn't have. I must have done it by accident. Okay, so now we've got another texturizer. Our genius thing that we said was so important we would use again later, we now surprisingly actually need it again later in this getting to be somewhat a monstrosity thing, but that's how you know it's special. Okay, so that's our texturizer. Clunk. I'm going to turn this back on auto update. So it's going through and it's doing its thing right now. And now we're doing our texturizationer. And boom. Now you can't actually see if it's texturizing anything yet because we actually need to put the texture on there. So we're not using the cut texture. Remember, we're just using the texture of the wall. So basically, I'm just going to copy this because I got the wall texture. And I'm going to put it right here. Bonk. And I'm going to say dunk. Check it out. Look at that. We've got our textures on the side, our texture on the front, we've got our texture stretched there. Things even look like they're kind of maybe in the right places. Excitement. Probably should have done a drum or something for that. Okay, so this is textured stone and mortar. Stone and I'm going to call this solid mortar. Solid mortar. Stone and solid, wow. Mortar. Sounds like something we would want to see. So these are the stone and mortar together. So in our little shower, this guy's pretty cool. We're going to want to be able to see that. We're also going to see them individually. So what would we do if we just wanted to see the stone? Well, fortunately, remember, we made a group for the stone. All that doing things ahead of time just paid off, buddy. So the stone, oh shoot, it's going to be called stones at the bottom. We're just going to type it in then. I know, like old times. Let's delete non-selected. So this is just the stones with the texture on them. Nifty. That's something we want to see. So I'm going to call that stones, gonk. Similarly, can't talk or write. We want to see just the, I want to say mortar, but I kind of don't want to see mortar just yet because it's not broken up. So I'm going to say solid mortar. And just solid mortar is going to be the mortar guys. Fortunately, M comes, or whatever. Solid mortar is these guys. Hey, look at that. Now let's do it without the shiny shine. So there's our textured mortar. We're going to want to see that as well. And we also probably want to see both of them together. So those are our next three options for our show. So let's go up and let's just add those to our little menu options. Remember this guy? That guy? We now have new numbers on there. They are, as you remember, we can see the stones. We can see the mortar. I'm going to call this solid mortar. Solid mortar. Actually, tell you, I'm going to do again, looking at this from that person, we're going to look down, we're going to look for mortar. So I'm going to say mortar dash solid. And then, because later on, we're going to have mortar dash bits or something. Okay, last thing, stone and solid mortar. Let's go to hot stone and I'll call it stone and solid mortar. Why do we do so much typing, Jeff? I don't know. Okay, all that's in there. We're going to hit that, hit accept. And now, let's check it out. Remember our wall, remember our cut image, remember our cut points. But now we can also see the stones. Big long pause while it does its fluid density thing again. We should probably cache that out if it's too slow. And actually, I think we will later on because I don't know it's going to be that slow. Goes to the flattener. There's our stones. Now we also can see the mortar as a solid. And now the stones and mortar together. Yay! Getting real close. So our next thing is going to be to take this stuff and chop it into little tiny bits. And then we're going to throw that big thing that's been hiding back there to break through into it. And then we're just going to be rocking. Come back for the next lesson. We're just cruising at this point.